You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions.
CaveFam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the Man Cave on a special edition Friday with a special edition LaCroix can, you know what I mean? But hey, we got a good one coming up today. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys do your own research out there. Don't believe any of these clips you see. This is for entertainment purposes only. And another thing, y'all, we're doing good with the likes. You know, 500 seems to be the new normal now. So let's up the ante a little bit. Let's get this video to 700 likes, y'all. Let's show the world how strong the CaveFam is out there. Hit that thumbs up. But hey, I ain't gonna sit here and talk you guys' ears off because we all know what you came here for. Sure as hell wasn't me. Let's get into the reaction. Enjoy the show.
So it only took a couple of days for the biolab chemical explosion in Conyers, Georgia to completely disappear from the news cycle. And it only took 24 hours for local officials in the federal government to start issuing statements just like this one, saying that all's good, no worries, don't worry about the hyper-toxic chemicals that just exploded in your backyard, go back to business as usual, there's nothing to see here, just like in East Palestine, Ohio. And why is that? Oh, is it maybe because the company responsible for this chemical plant is tied to BlackRock, just like every other societal ill that we've seen in the past several years? The company in charge of this biolab chemical plant is called KIK Consumer Products. They make some of the most well-known, widely distributed toxic cleaners in the United States. They're also owned by Centerbridge Partners, which is tied to BlackRock for billions of dollars. That is why there's a cover-up.
I've never seen anything like that. Look at it blowing up.
Look at that water spout. Oh my god.
It's all
Wait,
chemicals, y'all.
It's a chemical. Go. Get us the hell out of here.
All those chemicals.
Oh my god. Oh, it don't even look real. Oh my, that's like tripping me out.
You know they eat is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats.
I had to blur out and mute some things, but she's talking about, you know, when the birds are in the nest and they eat the birds. That's what she's talking about.
Not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do, Tucker. Stop staring at me like that.
You're freaking me out, man. Because
They
you
do.
spent your life in the entertainment business, so I think you have some authority on this.
So many I was in mental institutions with over the years, they are all from those cults. And they've covered it all up. They covered it all up. And
Now, I might not be able, if you see this, you know, it passed. If this all gets deleted, you're never going to know. But what's crazy is Tucker, he'll get an okay to put that interview. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, so I might be talking out of my butt. But if it is, that was aired on YouTube. He gets the okay. So what's up with that? Is it because he's got money? He's got followers, so they allow it? Or is he in on something that he's lying to us about? I don't know, because I know if I put that out, my video is getting blocked.
How on this flight the moon is below the horizon by quite some way.
There it is. this.
The moon horizon.
People believe that weather was used for Hurricane Helene, then somehow coincidentally stalled over the rare lithium producing towns of Western and North Carolina, which is the exact location of the largest lithium deposit we have in the United States. Now, something to keep in mind while moving forward, ever since we left Afghanistan, we have lost the ability to mine lithium there, where most of it used to come from. Now we are stuck having to fill this insane demand we have for this lithium right here in the United States. Once again, the largest deposit being right over the towns that just got completely destroyed by this hurricane. Alright, so before I tie this all up with this lithium situation, this video you're looking at right now went super viral over the last few days. We have over 3 million views on this clip here, where we are talking about these weird anomalies that were taking place right before landfall of Hurricane Helene. There's a lot of controversy about what's going on here, but these things pointed directly to where we saw landfall. Not only that, but we saw some weird scalar looking beams in there, a lot of weird stuff that we were breaking down, and it's causing a lot of talk about this situation, which is the point here. We've already established that weather manipulation exists, but I want you to take a look at this website from 2007, my friends. That's 17 years ago. And it came out from the Telegraph. It says, scientists a step closer to steering hurricanes. Now, in this article, they explain how they are using technology in order to control and steer these types of storms, including tornadoes. So when you take things like this and you also add these patents that have been out for decades, you begin to see a picture being painted of what is really going on. Now, this isn't to say that every bit of weather controlled. It means that they have the capability of doing this, and it's right in your
There's got to be $100 million hit on this. There's a contest in the penitentiary right now. But you're dead, man. That's for damn sure. Freak often got told your world up. But you know what happened? You should have never sued the liquor company. That's where you f***ed up. They don't give a f*** about you tearing up booty holes. You f***ed up when you sued the liquor company, because the liquor company is owned by the biggest conglomerate on earth, the BlackRock people. You done bit off the hand that was feeding you, and now you chop both your feet and your hand off, and your head's coming next. Your ego got out of whack because you was controlling everything at them freak parties. Now you think you control the hand that's feeding you. You stupid mother. He sued the liquor company May 2023. November 2023, Cassie come up with the lawsuit. Connect the dots. Cassie got 2 checks. She got a check from the liquor company people that put her up to doing that and she got a check from Puffy to try to keep her quiet. Too late.
And the story goes that the Knights Templar were so large that they had actually, hundreds of years before Columbus went to America, the Knights Templar were actually in America. And there's a conspiracy that they were finding ancient relics and bringing them to America to hide them.
That makes sense.
When the Knights Templar was dissolved, all of Europe was basically like, if you're a Knights Templar, you're in prison or you're dead.
Yeah.
The only country that did not do it was Portugal. And to this day, Portugal still has a hub for the Knights Templar. And what's interesting is that Christopher Columbus, I believe, is from Portugal, right?
I thought he was Spain.
Well, he
was contracted by Spain.
He was contracted by Spain, but he originally went to Portugal and he said, I'm going to go discover this new land that people have talked about. In Portugal, the theory is that they're like, why are you doing that? The Knights Templar had already been there.
Yeah.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
That's so crazy that a little kid like that knows about politics to the point he can call a politician a liar. When I was that age, you asked me who was the president, maybe Bill Clinton. Who was Bill Clinton? I'd be like, I don't know. Because I was busy playing, coloring, right? Playing football, basketball outside. It's crazy that these kids nowadays, everyone sees politics from their phone. So they probably know more about politics than I do, you know?
You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game's won.
You see that? Do you see that in the tree? What?
Dog don't lie.
Uh-huh. He sees it. Oh, God. We're going. He also sees a bird. What the? Look it.
Where boys and girls can all be queens every single day. What the fuck does that mean? Hell no, either, man.
Hurricanes are experiments.
Hurricanes was real too?
Good morning. This tank gives scientists and the rest of us a view no one has ever had before. What a hurricane's power looks like at water level as it storms ashore. In just 2 minutes, scientists here can take calm waters and turn them into a monster hurricane.
They can do what now?
The wind is gradually getting stronger and stronger as it's coming up here, and it's ramping up to a Category 5. It's probably about a Category 3 right now.
We use nature as a weapon.
This 75-foot-long tank is the first simulator in the world. A laser could start the rain.
Pay attention.
You can almost use it to set it off.
Matt Mills got into lasers as a kid.
It's just innately cool.
Now he's part of a team of scientists and military backers on the cutting edge of a new technology. We created a cloud of our own behind Matt's lab. A few months ago, Matt's colleagues in Arizona got this working experimentally. The next step is to get it to work in the sky.
Particles in the air are rubbing together, forming static electricity, and the conditions are now right.
And they just need to be triggered now. Does this concern you that you may be messing with Mother Nature and doing something that you don't completely understand up here in the cloud?
I mean, I suppose that's always a danger, but we're not even near to the case where it could be dangerous yet, so not too much.
It's almost like an on-off switch for a thunderstorm.
That's the idea behind it.
Key word he said, yet. Playing with fire. Don't play with Mother Nature.
So I was out here fixing the latch on my Tacoma because it'll get stuck and then you can't open the door. And I saw this sticker and it says, all persons must keep a minimum separation of 20 centimeters from the transmitter's antenna when the device is operating to meet current FCC exposure guidelines. Like, that's weird. Being a technician for the FAA working on radios, I know all about that shit. And then I remember, hey, there's some people with a GR Corollas, out there that are finding GPS trackers in their car. One of those guys was in South Houston. I live in South Houston, and that's where I bought my truck. So I look at the OBD2 port, and I'm like, that's weird. Why are there so little wires? I'm like, what's all this in the back? And it's so I use extension cables. So I go over here, pull this out, and I find this. I don't know what it is. Probably some Chinesium GPS tracker. It says Mingqing. But if it's got a SIM card in it, oh boy, I'm going to be using that free data. Thanks, nerds.
So I just got out of the water. We're up at the local emergency operations center. They have a Starlink set up, and water rescues are continuous. So the mud is insane here. The amount of bridges that are out, the amount of landlocked, stranded people is unbelievable. There's still plenty of people completely unaccounted for. Keep these locals in your prayers, because I've been doing this since 2013. I got some guys with me that have done it 30 years, and they've never seen anything like this. It's wild. The pictures and videos are nothing compared to seeing it in person. I don't even know how it's possible that it happened. But the job goes on.
It's interesting that Kamala Harris has taken a side. I wonder if they support Kamala Harris.
I could ask that question. Maria Bartiromo back in the studio, she said, you know, we got a presidential election going on now. I hate to bring this up, but you support your union guy. Vice President Harris supports the strike, she said. She wanted to know how many folks support Vice President Harris. Any hands? No hands. Wow. Okay.
270.
One man. So there you go.
Woo!
Interesting. Well, that's very interesting.
This is a shipping port in China where there's not a single worker on the ground. People inside on computers unload ships using 5G and then place them on autonomous AI vehicles that drive the containers to trucks and load them without any human assistance. In fact, what you are seeing is the first fully automated 5G port in the world. And you might not think it, but this is extremely controversial because partly the reason why 45,000 port workers in the US have gone on strike right now is because they want promises in their contract that these shipping companies will not implement autonomous technologies and threaten their jobs. And this is a really tricky subject because on the one hand, no one wants to put people out of their jobs just so companies can turn a bigger profit. But on the other hand, the Tianjin port in China requires only 25% of the workforce of a traditional port while also being able to load almost 10 containers more per hour. That equates to about 70,000 more a year. And the workforce they do have are inside in air-conditioned rooms on computers, which is the reason it's also one of the safest and most accident-free ports in the world as well. And to make problems even trickier, this smart port system is currently being prepared to be replicated around the world. But is that the right direction to go in? Let me know what you think.
Now, I'm saying this just being realistic, right? I'm old school. I don't want machines to take over, but it's inevitable. I don't know how unions work. I know it's in the contract, but can't they just say, you guys are fired? Can you fire union people like that? I don't know how it works. This isn't what I want. This is just me saying it looks inevitable. It looks like this is what they're just going to do because that's just where technology is going and that's just what's going to happen. I hope not, right? I don't want people to lose their jobs and all that, but can't they just do that eventually, right? I don't know. Let me know down below. How does that work? Not saying I want that to happen. I'm just being a realist. And if it's taking over and it's producing a lot more running 24/7, it's inevitable.
You know, they send billions of dollars overseas, but don't help the local people. Remember what happened with the fires in Hawaii? I mean, everybody got a $700 check. I mean, think about that. Then you had Palestine, Ohio. You remember that with the spill? Chemical spill, nobody got $1. Now you got Asheville, North Carolina, and everything all underwater, and there's no money once again for the local people. But billions of dollars are being sent across seas, over the seas, to people that it doesn't even matter because they're not in this country. And that's where everything is so backwards, that people of the country are not being taken care of while they're being taxed. Think about this. And then the tax money then is going over the seas to go to somebody else. The people are suffering back home. You see how that works? Doesn't make much sense, that's for sure.
Who remembers back when April, when I was talking about a celebrity death that faked their death would reveal themselves in October? How many of you guys are seeing that Tupac is going to testify against Diddy? Y'all remember that? A lot of y'all been following me for a while. Y'all remember that? When I showed y'all that podcast showing all these predictions? And one of the predictions was that a celebrity who faked their death would reveal themselves in October. And we're in October. And you're seeing all this Tupac shit. Talk about Machiavelli. I've been quiet for too long. Machiavelli's return. We live in the Matrix. Where are we?
I got a couple of comments. Y'all are some Tupac fans out there, huh? You guys got a little mad at me from that clip saying you can't judge a kid to a grown adult. It died at 25. That was at 17. Hey, I'm not really into music like that no more. I see what it does to my mind, to my spirit. So I don't really listen to that type of music no more. But hey, I didn't mean to poop on your idol. You know what I mean?
Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart. So everybody that Cat sat right here and told you about, everything he was saying was on the up and up. No one's saying he's lying.
It's all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. All lies will be exposed. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, you will tell it. I know so many things I shouldn't know. When I walk in a room, heads go down.
You know why Puffy got arrested? Right after Sean Combs filed suit against that liquor company, all his videos and all his freak-off information went public.
Yeah, this him bucking them people from that liquor company. This ain't got nothing to do with what he was doing with his dick with these other hip-hop niggas. This is what he did with them liquor company people. They just using this to get that nigga.
Harris showed up yesterday to see the devastation left behind from Hurricane Helene. She showed up there and she gave the citizens that have lost everything $750 to go buy baby formula. Any supplies that they may need was $750. Biden also came and he said he's sending in 1,000 troops to help with the cleanup there. He also said he blamed the dock strike on why the supplies are taking such a long time to get to the citizens of North Carolina. The dock strike that's been going on for 2 days is why supplies have not yet reached there. Also, I want you to never forget what happened in Maui about a year and a half ago when a massive wildfire occurred there. Biden showed up. He showed up a couple days late. What did he give those citizens? $700. Zelensky showed up last week in America. He was only here for a couple days. We gave him $8 billion to take back to Ukraine. So the citizens of Hurricane Helene, $750. Maui, $700. Ukraine, $8 billion more dollars. Don't you forget that when it comes time to vote in a couple weeks.
Don't. They're chanting death to USA.
This is a drone show that happened over the weekend in China, and it is absolutely terrifying. They broke 2 world records. The first one is the most drones controlled by a single computer, and the second one is the biggest drone show in the world with about 10,000 drones that are flying in perfect coordination. Now this is terrifying because imagine if instead of using this technology to do a nice light show like this one, these drones were swarming your city and killing everybody on sight. This is now possible with this technology. We've already seen it in Ukraine where drones are proving to be so incredibly useful that human soldiers are actually becoming useless. You can control a drone safely from a distance to go kill people or destroy $1 million tanks with just $100 or $1,000 flying drone. We've all seen the Black Mirror episode showing how dangerous these tiny drones could be. The future of war is all about drones, and right now China is years ahead of any other countries, and this is absolutely terrifying.
You think they're ahead of us, United States? I don't know, y'all. A lot of these militaries out, I mean, I guess we have air shows and stuff like that we kind of stunt with our stuff, but I don't think America gets out there and does a parade. We don't, with flaunting their military, their technology. They keep it under wraps, I feel like. I'm not going to say they're years ahead of us. I just think we don't flaunt our stuff like other countries do. Don't kill me for saying that, y'all.
Stop, that's Jesus. Their damn village happens to be resting on the richest unobtainium deposit within 200 clicks in any direction. I mean, look at all that cheddar.
Well, who gets him to move?
Yes.
What if they won't go?
Oh, I'm betting that they will.
Okay. Look. Killing the indigenous looks bad. But there's one thing that shareholders hate more than bad press, and that's a bad quarterly statement. I didn't make up the rules. So just find me a carrot that'll get them to move. Otherwise, it's gonna have to be all stick, okay?
You got 3 months. That's when the dozers get there.
But we're wasting time.
I like.
They tell you in the movies, right there in plain sight. Terrible.
Anyone who doubts the ability of automation and cars driving on the street and avoiding dogs and people and cats, just take a look at all of this automation right here.
Look at that. Perfection.
36 ports in more than a dozen locations, from New England down to Florida, all the way across to Texas. And it is more than just bananas. Clothing, footwear, fruit, plywood, autos, you name it. They wouldn't come into the East Coast. Now, the union wants better pay and is concerned about automation.
A strike could affect nearly half of America's ports, leading to shortages of everyday items like pharmaceuticals, produce, fresh meat, cars, you name it, driving up prices across the board. JP Morgan Chase says that a dock strike could cost the American economy about $5 billion every day.
An agreement is not reached by later today. Ports from Maine to Texas will face a strike. 47,000 workers, 4,500 of which are right here in the New York and New Jersey area, and the stakes are very high. The potential for disruption is significant. We've not had an event occur like this in our ports since 1977, and that lasted 12 days.
I wonder what the effects were of that 1977 strike. I remember we're going to have to look into see that because that was 12 days. So I wonder what that effect did to the American population. If you know.
We'll send $200 billion over to Ukraine with little ability to actually track what is happening and why. And it's very frustrating as a member of Congress because we have the resources. Well, Frank, to be blunt, we're borrowing the resources from the future. So if you're going to do that for other countries, let's make sure people get what they need immediately to restore these communities as quickly as we can.
Let's also be clear, if this president is thinking about putting us in a position where we're in a war with Iran, the consequences will be absolutely unacceptable and tragic in terms of the young men and women who are American soldiers who would be sent and deployed into something that was completely avoidable.
Whenever God is mentioned at the Grammys or God is mentioned at the Oscars or football games, basketball games, or when you get $100 million contract, I want to just thank God, because without God and my mom and my family, I mean, it's kind of it. They don't talk about God no other time publicly other than a big moment happening. And yet, people are worshiping the devil publicly all year long. The whole music video had devil worshiping in it. Y'all see this. Y'all see what's going on. So at the end of the day, man, I just had to really realize, like, wow, man, Denzel Washington does not do an interview on a red carpet or a sit-down interview. He does not do any interviews without at some point transitioning into talking about the goodness of God.
If you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God.
In the chanclas.
I'm not a big fan of conspiracy theories. I mean, I am a big fan of them, just listening to them, but passing on that information, I don't want to look stupid. But this one is just way too much. The whole North Carolina, Piedmont, like when you look into it, it makes sense. So a company named Piedmont is trying to get permit to mine, has been trying for like 2 years to get permit to mine lithium. So if you guys don't know, there is lithium in North Carolina. It was found that they have lithium in North Carolina, but where it's located, it would have to disrupt the lives of multiple fuck ton of people to mine it. So they kind of shelved it because, again, how are you going to think about it's a whole process, relocation of people, whatnot. Anyways, long story short, until you see this article. This article, North Carolina's dormant lithium industry is suddenly hot again. And this article came out like it's very recent. Anyways, global demand for batteries has spiked in recent years, blah, 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 blah. So 2022 analysis by McKinsey could grow 30% from 2022 to 2030. So it's like 400 billion. So yes, North Carolina is sitting on like a $400 billion, lot of lithium. The thing is, where it's located, it's going to be almost impossible to mine it until you realize that the flooding that just happened, that now is going to force hundreds of thousands of people to find somewhere else to live, happened exactly where the lithium is. So, conspiracy theory, not conspiracy theory, of all the places, like, come on, man. You got a flooding that's happened that's now suddenly is going to be forcing people that live in a certain location to evacuate, when there is a company, when those people live on some on a plot that's like $400 billion worth. Like, come on, man. I don't want to say it, but goddamn, this flood in North Carolina right now is just way too suspect.
You guys think of the correlation of people who claim to be abducted by aliens and their participation in the occult practice?
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of data that suggests that all these folks that get these encounters are all dabbling with some sort of occult-like tactics, whether it's like over Ouija board or like Eastern
Yeah,
religion.
there's these reports of people being abducted, and the people that were instantly let go were the people that proclaim the name of Jesus.
That's even, yeah.
Blurry Creatures, they've had people on podcasts that have, it's basically a satanic ritual, but everything in this ritual is almost exactly like what an abductee goes through. Very similar. You're on a table, they're doing weird stuff to you, experiments, and like you're afraid you can't move. There's some telepathic,
like Diddy level 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
probably, yeah. Which that's insane.
It's crazy.
That's the
dude.
scariest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I can't even listen to Shake Your Tail.
Did you?
There you have it. Hey fam, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. A little shorter reaction. I got a busy Friday coming up, but I did some good things in the morning. Carnivore's kicking in, day 4. Today's day 4, 31-day challenge over here. I gotta go on my walk, probably go on a quick little mile run to get it done quick. I got my cars washed today, blew out my front yard, my backyard. It's looking clean out there for the weekend. The cars are clean for the weekend. It's setting up to be a good day and a good weekend, y'all. So I hope everyone out there has a great Friday. Remember, let's get to 700 likes this video, y'all. Hit that like button. My second YouTube channel, I'm starting to upload over there. I did an upload yesterday. I'll probably do another one tomorrow. We're going to be doing about 4 uploads a week over there. So go show some love. Give away at 1,000 subscribers over there. Make sure you guys go over there. Hit that subscribe if you're here. Link is in the bio. I cover everything. 700 likes. Link in the bio. Okay, that's it, y'all. I hope everyone out there has a good Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow over here on Saturday. This is Segovia, signing out of the man cave. Later.